అందరికీ స్వాగతం. సుందరయ్య విజ్ఞాన కేంద్రం తరఫున ఈరోజు నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి వెబినార్ చాలా ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి అంశం మీద నిర్వహిస్తున్నాం. ఇటీవల సుప్రీంకోర్టు ఎన్నికల సంఘానికి సంబంధించి కొన్ని తీర్పులు చెప్పింది. అందులో ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది ఎన్నికల సంఘం, అది చీఫ్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్ కానీ లేకపోతే ఎన్నికల సంఘం సభ్యులు కానీ ఎలా ఎన్నిక కావాలి అనేటువంటిది ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి ఒక తీర్పు చెప్పింది. సుప్రీంకోర్టు ఏం చెప్పిందంటే, ఎన్నికల సంఘం అనేది ఒక రాజ్యాంగబద్ధమైనటువంటి సంస్థ, రాజ్యాంగం వల్ల ఏర్పడినటువంటి సంస్థ ఇది. అందుకని ఇది అసర్టివ్గా ఉండాలి, అంటే దృఢంగా ఉండాలి. తాను ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ చెప్పినట్టు, అంటే ప్రభుత్వం చెప్పినట్టు వినటం కాకుండా తాను సొంతంగా నిర్ణయాలు తీసుకొని సొంతంగా పనిచేసేటట్టుగా ఉండాలి. అందుకు అనుగుణంగానే దీని అపాయింట్మెంట్ విధానం ఉండాలి అని సుప్రీంకోర్టు చెప్పింది. సుప్రీంకోర్టు సూచించింది ఏంటంటే, ఎన్నికల సంఘం సభ్యుల్ని కానీ లేకపోతే దాని ప్రధాన ఎన్నికల కమిషనర్ కానీ నియమించాలంటే ప్రధానమంత్రి, లోక్సభలో ప్రతిపక్ష నేత, లేదా సింగిల్ లార్జెస్ట్ పార్టీ ఎవరుంటే వాళ్ళ ఆ పార్టీ నేత, అదేవిధంగా సిజేఏ అంటే చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా, ఈ ముగ్గురుతో కూడినటువంటి కమిటీయే ఎన్నికల సంఘం సభ్యులను, అదేవిధంగా ప్రధాన ఎన్నికల సంఘం చైర్మన్ను ఎన్నుకోవాలి అని చెప్పేసి చెప్పింది. ఇది కొత్తగా ప్రభుత్వం ఒక చట్టం చేసేంత వరకు ఇది అమల్లో ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పింది. ఇదే విధంగా మనకు దాదాపు 20కి పైగా రాజ్యాంగబద్ధ సంస్థలు ఉన్నాయి. ఆ సంస్థలు మనం చూసినప్పుడు ఆ సంస్థల్లో ముఖ్యులుగా, అంటే చీఫ్స్గా పనిచేసినటువంటి వాళ్ళు రిటైర్మెంట్ అయిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి ప్రభుత్వ పోస్టింగ్స్ ఇవ్వటం, గవర్నర్ పదవులు ఇవ్వటం, రాజ్యసభ సభ్యులను చేయటం వంటివన్నీ కూడా జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఇది సరైనటువంటి పద్ధతి కాదు అనేటువంటి చాలా కాలం నుంచి చర్చ ఉంది. ఒకవేళ ఇటువంటి ఆశలు పెడితే దీనికోసం ఆ పదవుల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చట్టాన్ని కరెక్ట్గా ఫాలో కాకుండా ప్రభుత్వం ఎట్లా చెప్తే అట్లా వినేటువంటి పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడుతుంది. కనుక వీళ్ళ యొక్క అపాయింట్మెంట్స్లోనూ, అదేవిధంగా వీళ్ళు చేయాల్సినటువంటి పనిలోనూ ఇవన్నీ ఉండాలి, దృఢంగా ఉండాలి, అసెప్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి ఈ రాజ్యాంగ సంస్థలన్నీ కూడా అని చెప్పేసి సుప్రీంకోర్టు చెప్పింది. అందులో కంప్యూటర్ అండ్ ఆడిటర్ జనరల్, అదేవిధంగా అకౌంటెంట్ జనరల్, ఇట్లా అనేకమైనటువంటి బాధ్యతలు ఈ రాజ్యాంగబద్ధమైనటువంటి సంస్థలు ఉన్నాయి. వాటి నిర్వహణ జరగాలంటే అసర్టివ్గా ఉండాలి అనేది సుప్రీంకోర్టు సారాంశం. ఏమైనా ఇది ఒక పెద్ద చర్చనీయాంశంగా ఈరోజు ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే గతంలో ఎన్నడూ లేనటువంటి విధంగా ఎన్నికల సంఘం అనేటువంటిది ఇండిపెండెంట్గా వ్యవహారం చేయటం అని ప్రభుత్వ సిఫార్సుల మేరకు ఎన్నికల సంఘం వ్యవహరిస్తుంది. గత కొంతకాలంగా మనం దీన్ని చూస్తున్నాము. ఎన్నికల తేదీలు నిర్వహించడంలోనూ, లేకపోతే ఎన్నికలు జరిపేటువంటి పద్ధతిలోనూ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం చూసాం. గతంలో టిఎన్ శేషన్ చీఫ్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్గా ఉండగా చాలా స్ట్రిక్ట్గా ఆ ఎన్నికల నిబంధనల్ని అమలు చేశాడు. ఆ తర్వాత ఎవరు కూడా ఆ పద్ధతుల్లో అమలు చేయలేదు. ఆయన ప్రవేశపెట్టినటువంటి కొన్ని విధానాలు కొనసాగుతూ వచ్చాయి, పలసపడుతూ వచ్చాయి. దానివల్ల ఇప్పటికి ఈ స్థితి ఈ రోజుకు వచ్చేటప్పటికి పూర్తిగా ప్రభుత్వ ఆదేశాల మేరకు పనిచేస్తున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితి మనకు కనపడుతుంది. రాష్ట్రంలోని ఎన్నికల సంఘాలు కూడా అదే పద్ధతుల్లో వ్యవహారం చేస్తున్నాయి. ప్రభుత్వం ఏం చెప్తే అది చేసేటువంటి స్థితిలోనే ఎన్నికల సంఘాలు ఉన్నాయి. కనుక వీటి పనితీరు ఎట్లా ఉండాలి, దీనివల్ల వస్తున్నటువంటి సమస్యలు ఏమిటి, ఎటువంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి, వీళ్ళు దృఢంగా లేకపోవటం వల్ల అనేటువంటి అంశాన్ని మన ముందు చర్చించడానికి కర్ణాటక హైకోర్టు మాజీ న్యాయమూర్తి నాగమోహన్ దాస్ గారు ఉన్నారు. వారు 40 నిమిషాల పాటు మాట్లాడతారు. ఆ తర్వాత ప్రశ్నలు వేయదలుచుకున్నటువంటి వాళ్ళు తమ కామెంట్ సెక్షన్లో ప్రశ్నల్ని నమోదు చేస్తే వాటికి వారి సమాధానాలు కూడా ఇస్తారు. నౌ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ జస్టిస్ నాగమోహన్ దాస్ టు స్టార్ట్ హిస్ అడ్రస్.
I am grateful to Vinay Kumar, the Secretary of Vignana Kendram, for choosing a very important topic for debate in this webinar. We are all required to remember that India got independence in 1947 by accepting the world's biggest written constitution. India became republic in the year 1950. In our constitution, we have abolished feudal system. Under our constitution, we have established democratic institutions. We have brought institutional reforms. We provided democratic rights to the people of this country. In this 73 years of republic, we have built institutions. We have built legislative, executive, judicial, and other democratic institutions. At the national level, we have established a parliament which is empowered to enact laws for the entire nation. At the state level, we have established assemblies empowering to enact laws for the respective states. There is central government, state government, district administration, taluka administration, and Grama Panchayat, the executive bodies. At the national level, there is Supreme Court. At the state level, there is High Court. At district level, there is District Court. And at taluka level, taluka courts, the judicial institutions. Apart from these legislative, executive, and judiciary, we have also established independent and sovereign institutions like Reserve Bank of India, Election Commission of India, CBI, Enforcement Directorate, National Investigation Agency, Auditor General of India, Accountant General of India, etc. In this 73 years of Republic of India, these institutions have played a very important role in converting a feudal society into a democratic society, in improving the standard of living of common man. It has helped for social and economic growth of this country. We have made several achievements through these institutions. I do not subscribe at this point of time that nothing is achieved. We have made certain achievements. Before 1947, the entire land mass from Kashmir to Kanyakumari was never brought under one political rule. After India became republic, we fixed a boundary. We gave a constitution, a national flag, a national symbol, a national anthem, and brought the entire land mass under one political rule. If real India is created, it is only after India became republic. As I told, we have brought institutions, legislative institutions, executive institutions, judicial institutions, and other democratic institutions. We have improved in our education and literacy, health, transport, housing, in many number of areas. The Dalits, Adivasis, women, and minorities are now entered every walk of our life. In some of the areas like space technology, atomic energy, information technology, agriculture production, service sector, Indian defense, India stands one in top 10 of the world. All these achievements and institutions that we have established is through our democratic institutions. The people of this country, who are nearly 140 plus crore, are participating in these democratic institutions, either directly or indirectly, in one forum or the other, in these democratic institutions. Today, we are in crossroad. The very constitution itself is in danger. Those who don't believe in the Indian constitution are occupied the most important constitutional post in the country. Some of the political leaders proclaiming that for all our problems and challenges, our constitution is responsible. Some are openly saying that we have come to the power to change the constitution. Some disgruntled youth went to the extent of burning the Indian constitution sometime back in daylight in Jantar Mantar at Delhi. One minister from West Bengal says, Constitution versus Quran, we only go by Quran and not by Indian constitution. Day in and day out, every constitutional authority takes oath in the name of constitution. To uphold the constitution, the laws and the rules. But day in and day out, they are violating the constitution. Take for example, we have a parliament which is empowered to check out programs, plans, frame laws and rules for the entire nation. This parliament is now filled with 88% of crorepattis, 43% of elected parliamentarians are facing serious criminal charges. 54% of them are having hereditary family background, industrial background, real estate background. This is the composition of Indian parliament. As a result, no discussions are taking place on the issues relating to the people of the nation. On the other hand, the parliament debates are concentrated on emotional issues. Nearly 48% of the bills introduced in the parliament are being passed without debate, without any justifiable ground. Parliament members are barred from participating. There is disrespect for dissent. This is the state of affairs of Indian Parliament. I need not tell that the state assemblies are no better. This is the state of affairs insofar as the biggest democratic institution, the legislative body in the country. Secondly, we see the executive body. More than 80% of the bureaucracy in the country is a big sellout. No accountability, no transparency. Corruption is rampant. Lethargy to respond to the common man's need and problems. Every day, we are hearing and reading in the newspapers that somewhere in the country, one or the other officers indulging in corruption, abuse of power, and authoritarianism. Even the judiciary is no exception. 5 crore cases are pending. Much of the time in the higher courts, that is constitutional courts, is spared for political litigation, for business litigation, and corporate litigation. The common man who needs more time of these constitutional courts are not getting. Corruption has entered. Inconsistent judgments are coming. Anti-people judgments are coming. Unconstitutional judgments are coming. In addition to that, the executive is trying to control the judiciary. All of you have heard what the Vice President of India told some time back, stating that Parliament is the final word and not the courts. If the Parliament works contrary to the Constitution, in such a situation, is it not necessary that Constitution shall prevail over the Parliament? Giving a go by to such a basic feature, the Vice President of India makes a reckless statement. Day in and day out, we are seeing the Union Law Minister attacking the judges and the constitutional courts. Appointments are delayed. Sanctioned posts are not filled. Necessary infrastructure is not provided. For political interest, recommendations of the Supreme Court are returned, are delayed, or rejected. In addition to that, we see a most unhealthy and dangerous trend That is quid pro quo. Some of the judges who prized the government, who prized the prime minister, who gave judgments according to the tune of political executive, are being accommodated in most important posts in the country, are being appointed as parliament members, governors, and whatnot. This is very dangerous for any democracy. It is not just that the executive is trying to control the judiciary. Even in the judiciary, we see a lot of problems. In the matter of collegium, roster system, in the matter of collegium, contempt of court, roster system, impeachment of judges, in the matter of collegium, contempt of court, we have not yet able to impeachment of judges, finalize of collegium, contempt of court, the controversies impeachment revolve around finalize these issues. Contempt of court, the controversies impeachment revolve around in this way. The legislative, the executive, and the judiciary of the country, the legislature is weakened, destabilized, day in and day out. If this process continues, we will not be able to retain our constitution. If we don't retain our constitution, there will be no democracy, no secularism, no welfare state, no social justice, and no pluralism in the country. This we have to remember. Apart from that, all of you remember the demonetization. In the matter of demonetization, the purpose for which it was brought is not at all achieved. The autonomy of the Reserve Bank was thrown away. People of the country are put to untold hardship. Neither black money is recovered, neither terrorism was curbed, nor corruption was curbed. This is how the country is being run. We see the centralization of economic power and weakening the states, particularly after the GST came into force. All the taxes recovered will go to the central government. Central government is not distributing the GST funds properly to all the states. States which are contributing more tax are receiving less share. Those who are contributing less are receiving major share. Some states which are not dancing to the tune of central government are being denied their respective and due share. For everything, the state governments has to bow before the central government with a begging bowl. This is how the state governments are being disempowered. The institutions like state government are being weakened. And economic centralization is taking place. Similarly, we see the political centralization. In the name of operation and defections, elected representatives are manipulated to make a majority government as minority and minority government as majority government without elections. Is it a healthy development for democracy? That we have seen in Karnataka, in Telangana, in Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh, and many number of West Bengal, in many number of states. Even the office of the governor is misused. Wherever there is a government opposite to the central government, the office of governors is abused, misused to scuttle the state governments. This we have seen in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in Telangana, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Punjab. Governors are the representatives of the president. They owe an obligation to uphold the constitution, to work as a friend, as a well-wisher, and as an advisor to the state government. But unfortunately, they are working as political agents of the central government. This is how the office of governors is misused. Similarly, we see in the matter of appointment of election commissions, chairman of the Reserve Bank, the members of those committees, the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate, the investigation agency, and many number of these type of democratic institutions. This development shocks the conscience of every democratic citizen in this country. These acts are not in conformity with our constitution. They are contrary to the constitution. They are contrary to the democratic norms, secular norms, and social justice. I give one small example. The Ministry of Law of central government made a statement in January 2023 before a parliamentary panel stating between 2018 and 2022, 537 judges are appointed to different high courts in the country. Out of them, 79% of the judges are from upper caste in general category. 11% are from OBC. 2.8% from scheduled caste. 1.3% from scheduled tribes. Whether this type of appointment of judges reflects the plural society of India? In this way, we see the functioning of these democratic institutions contrary to the spirit of constitution, the basic features of the constitution. If we allow this type of encroachment on these independent and sovereignty of democratic institutions, there will be a danger. We will not be able to protect our independence, our constitution, and the basic features of the constitution. The communal forces have entered every sphere of public forces. Friends, we are at a crucial stage where we are required to protect our institutions. We are required to protect our constitution. Therefore, we are all required to raise our voice. Any attempt to destabilize these institutions, to weaken these institutions, from communalizing these institutions, unless a people's movement, a public opinion is created, it is not possible to combat this challenge. It is not possible to save our democratic institutions, our constitutional bodies. First thing is we have to raise our voice. Secondly, I demand that heads of these democratic institutions, whoever it may, shall be made accountable unless and until the constitution, the persons who are occupying the constitutional posts are made accountable to the people of this country. It is not possible to check this unhealthy development. Thirdly, the judiciary shall show its wisdom and protect these democratic institutions. I am proud to say the Indian judiciary, through its landmark judgments, not only saved the constitution, saved the basic features of the constitution, made the corrupt people to stand in the witness box and to explain their conduct, their corruption, the abuse of power. The Indian courts have contributed for the growth of common law jurisprudence. It has built its own jurisprudence, native jurisprudence. Protect the rights of constitutional rights of common man. Protected the human rights. But unfortunately, the present developments are not happy. The only hope before the country is judiciary. But all is not well in the judiciary in the country today. Therefore, the judiciary has to rise to the occasion and through its judicial action, protect the people, protect their rights, protect the institutions, and protect the constitution. I am conscious of the fact that there is a hope. We have entered into which is dark. I am not seeing what is in front of me. At a distance, I am seeing a light. That light is my hope. In this direction, I see the present judgment of the Supreme Court in the matter of appointing Election Commission of India one step forward. We have to move further. This judgment I welcome. But all is not well with this judgment. There are many number of other institutions. Supreme Court has failed certain golden opportunities in laying down law in some of the crucial areas. When elected representatives tenders resignation, imposes compulsorily on people by election, made the public money or taxpayers' money to be spent again and again, which is an evil to the democracy. And this issue came up before the Supreme Court. It failed to utilize the opportunity to lay down a law and curb this undemocratic attitude. Therefore, a time has come where the judiciary is to be proactive, pro people, and protect the constitution and democratic values. It is in this direction. I appeal to every one of you in this country, every section of the society in this country, to discuss, to debate, and find out ways and means. Lastly, friends, I have to make it clear that the democracy in our country and also in other parts of the world are facing certain problems. But nobody is talking about what is alternative to the democracy. In such a situation, we are all required to discuss and debate how to remove the loopholes, the weaknesses of democratic system, how to strengthen it, how to carry forward it. In this direction, we are all required to protect the democratic institution. With these words, I conclude that a time has come where we are required to raise our voice. This is not the time where we have to keep silent. If we keep silent, friends, we will lose everything. Anarchy will prevail in this country. In an anarchical system, the communal forces raise their ugly head. In such a situation, we have to live like slaves by locking our doors. I don't want such a situation either to you or to me or to anybody in this country. Therefore, we are all required to play our role and protect our constitution, our basic features, our institutions, and carry forward. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your enlightening and thought-provoking talk. సో మిత్రులారా, ఇది మొత్తం మనము యూట్యూబ్లో కూడా వస్తుంది. ఎస్వికే వెబినార్స్ అని కొడితే 2 రోజుల తర్వాత మీరు ఈ మొత్తం స్పీచ్ని యూట్యూబ్లో కూడా చూడవచ్చు. ఈ స్పీచ్ ఎంత బాగుందంటే దీన్ని తెలుగులో చేసి మనము నవ తెలంగాణలోనూ ఇతర పత్రికల్లో పబ్లిష్ చేయవచ్చు. ఎవరు వేస్తే వారికి ఈ స్పీచ్ని తెలుగులో పంపించవచ్చు. అదేవిధంగా మన ఫేస్బుక్లో తర్వాత మనకు ఉండేటువంటి గ్రూప్స్లో కూడా ఈ స్పీచ్ని యథాతథంగా తెలుగులో చేసి వాళ్ళకు కూడా పంపిస్తాము. చాలా గొప్ప స్పీచ్ నాగమోహన్ దాస్ గారు చేశారు. వారికి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తూ ఒక ప్రశ్న ఉంది. ది హెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ది కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ బాడీస్, దే షుడ్ బి ఆన్సరబుల్ టు ది పీపుల్, but what is the method to make them answerable to the people?
Yes, it is very. I mentioned in my talk there is need to bring accountability. Accountability of the people who are occupying the constitutional posts. Yes, as of now, there are no sufficient laws in our system to bring these persons accountable. But the Supreme Court can make this opportunity, write down law, making these persons accountable for their misdeeds. And in this direction, people's movement is very important.
So there is another question. What is your opinion on appointing retired judges and retired officers who held this constitutional post as Rajya Sabha members, sometimes as governors? What is your opinion on this?
I also mentioned this point in my talk. Most important thing is, as on now, I am not against utilizing the talent, energy, and time of any person, whether in service or retired. But as on now, there are no codified rules, codified guidelines as, as to appointment of retired judges to the various posts. They, for the purpose of political interest, as a matter of quid pro quo, you gave judgment to us, we give this gift to you. No, this should go. There are many number of instances in this country that, as you said recently, appointing Rajya Sabha member, appointing a governor, appointing as chairman of several commissions and etc., are all of political in nature. It is not merit oriented. This we have to remember. Therefore, I demand a codified rule and or a codified guidelines. This should be a non-political, and there should be an embargo that after retirement, for a couple of years, no judge should be appointed to any of these important posts. In this way, we can debate, discuss, frame rules or guidelines, go according to that. Then such a system will be very good for the country.
Okay, sir, there is another question that you said 79% of the judges appointed are from upper caste. So do you suggest to implement this reservation system in appointing the judges?
I do not say reservation, but the Indian judiciary must reflect the plural society in the country. A lion's share to the few castes in the country is unacceptable. The situation in 1950 when our constitution came into force was different. Then the literacy rate was very less. People from backward class, Dalits, minorities, and women were very less lawyers. They were not available, suitable candidates for the purpose of appointing as judges. In these 73 years of Republic of India, the Indian literacy rate has gone up to 80%. Number of ladies are coming to the legal profession. Dalits are coming. OBCs are coming. Minorities are coming. Number of eligible lawyers and judges from the trial court are available to be appointed as judges to the constitutional court. But the collegium system has no fixed guidelines, codified guidelines, or codified rules. Therefore, I suggest an independent body is necessary, and that body should work according to the codified rules or guidelines. That codified rules and guidelines shall provide opportunity to the OBCs, the minorities, the Dalits, guidelines shall orient to find out the best talent available in the legal profession, maybe from different places. It is not just the lawyers who appear before the first, second, and third court are the only brilliant people. They are all intelligent and brilliant lawyers at the district and taluka level. Do we have a mechanism to identify them and to give them an opportunity? While providing opportunity, I say it is not token representation. It should be a meaningful and substantive representation to these sections.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. We don't have any questions now. No more questions. We'll close this. I will send you this YouTube link within 2-3 days to you, so you can circulate it among your contacts. They
Thank
can do
you. Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ వన్స్ అగైన్. చూస్తున్నటువంటి వారందరికీ కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు. దీన్ని మీరు 2-3 రోజుల తర్వాత యూట్యూబ్ ఎస్వికే వెబినార్స్ అని కొడితే వస్తుంది, అక్కడ కూడా చూడవచ్చు. మీ మిత్రులకు కూడా దీన్ని షేర్ చేయండి. ఇప్పుడు ఫేస్బుక్లో కూడా ఉంటుంది, దీన్ని మీరు మీ మిత్రులకి షేర్ చేయవచ్చు. అందరికీ మరోసారి నమస్కారం తెలియజేస్తూ ముగిస్తాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ.